Back out of here on a Monday, 10th day of June, 2024. I'm Dan Kuntz. Thanks for starting your week with us. We are pretty much almost there at summertime. Another 10 days. The summer solstice is officially on June 20th this year. It's a day earlier because, of course, we had the leap day back on February 29th. So normally it's the 21st. This year it's the 20th. We have these super long days now, 15 hours and 53 minutes of daylight. We're going to repeat what we had Sunday and Saturday for the most part today. We're going to be in the upper 80s. It's going to be quite warm, a little windy. We cool down a little bit on Tuesday, and then we're going to have a lot of wind, and then a continuing cooling trend with breezy conditions really right through the weekend. We're going to see temperatures above normal today and tomorrow, back down to normal by Wednesday, below normal by the back half of the week. All those details are coming up. Plus, we'll have news, lots to get to. On the news front, good Sunday for Mariners and Apple Sox fans. We'll have highlights of both the Mariners and the Apple Sox, who pulled out nice victories yesterday. And in the back half of the program, we're going to feature the musical performances from both the Eastmont and Wenatchee commencement exercises that we carried for you live here last Friday on the NCW Life Channel. You're going to hear from the Eastmont High School Mariachi Band and the Eastmont High School Choir. They're both good. And then we'll go to Wenatchee, and you'll hear Lane Hansen blow a saxophone like you haven't heard before. That guy has got talent on the sax. And the other musical entertainment for the Wenatchee High School commencement exercises was Janessa Hepton and Sam Nuschenschwader. We'll have both of those. So all four musical performances from both of the commencement exercises that we carried for you. We'll have that for you in the back half of the program. Talented young musicians here in the Wenatchee Valley. Very mild, 63 degrees, high clouds. Let's do our tour around the valley. We're going to give East Wenatchee a little bit of love today from our Heights camera. We can move it around. Of course, it's a PTZ camera. That's an acronym. We can pan it, we can tilt it, we can zoom it. So East Wenatchee gets the love today. A lot of it's still in the shadow as the sun continues to climb up. But good morning to East Wenatchee with a little sliver of Wenatchee thrown in. Yeah, the Columbia River is cold and it is high. It is spring and it is warm, and that is what happens. Let's see what Lake Chelan looks like. I wonder if Lake Chelan is starting to warm up yet. Lake Chelan could get quite mild during the heat, the warmest days of the summertime. That's from our Lower Butte camera. You can see the marina, the Three Fingers Project, and it looks like there's a spider web on the lens there. Somebody climb up there and get that, will you? Good morning to Chelan proper from our Lower Butte camera. Another body of water that we love so much, Lake Wenatchee, looks something like this morning. That is spectacular. I don't think you're going to have any mosquito problems up there. Still, you can see the snow up in the Cascades. That snow will continue to melt and continue to make the area, rivers and streams, climb up their embankments a little bit and go pretty good. I saw a video over the weekend of the Aniata River. It's cooking. That's no surprise there. And finally, let's visit Waterville from our Rude Canyon camera. Good morning to Waterville, and look how green the wheat is, hanging in there and growing good. I wonder if they're going to have a good wheat year this year. Sure looks good right now, doesn't it? Good morning to Waterville, the county seat of Douglas County. I mentioned already it's going to be windy tomorrow, and I mean windy. Really doesn't really matter where you live. There are, of course, some places that are susceptible to the wind, and that would be the Waterville Plateau that you just saw out in the Columbia Basin. You're going to be windy. Here in the Wenatchee Valley, we're going to have sustained winds at about 20 miles an hour, and it's going to be even stronger Tuesday night. Usually when the sun goes down, the wind dies down. That's not going to be the case on Tuesday night, tomorrow night. The wind is actually going to be picking up in intensity, so temperatures are going to be dropping down as well. So we're looking at some gusty winds. A little breezy today, but very windy Tuesday night, and some residual wind on Wednesday as a cold front barrels in Tuesday night. From the National Weather Service, here you go. 85 our high today. For the record, we hit 88 on Saturday and 85 yesterday, and 85 is about where we're going to be today, with a little bit of wind and quite a bit of sunshine with a few high clouds. 60 for the overnight low tonight. A few high clouds hanging around tonight as well. Sunshine all day Tuesday, but we're going to cool down to 81. Keep in mind our normal high this time of the year is about 77 or 78. So slightly above normal, but again, very windy Tuesday and Tuesday night. And you can see our temperatures will now drop down below normal by the time we get to Wednesday. The high of 76. We bounce back up briefly on Thursday to a high of 85. and then right back down again with some breezy conditions and cooler temperatures Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Nothing but sunshine, just a few high clouds here and there, and the rain that we need is going to be nowhere to be had, I'm afraid. 5 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your latest news. You're watching a Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Left channel.
Let's go! Put your hands together for the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters. This isn't just basketball, people. This is where what just happened happens all the time. Don't miss the Harlem Globetrotters 2024 World Tour presented by Jersey Mike Subs at Town Toyota Center on June 16th. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com for tickets.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
A few high clouds, 64 degrees, will be mid-80s today. Little bit of wind, quite a bit of wind. Slightly cooler Tuesday and Tuesday night, right on into Wednesday. And a fairly cool and breezy weekend, looks like, is heading our way anyway. It's 8 minutes after the hour. We have the latest on the Pioneer fire, which was first reported on Saturday at about 12:45 p.m. It's about 300 acres. The good news about the Pioneer fire, it's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. It's burning in grass and timber. It's 31 miles northwest of Chelan. Right now, it's about 300 acres. That's the estimate. There's some spectacular photos that we got from the folks who were in charge of fighting this fire. There is a level 3 evacuation order for the area around Rex Creek. Again, very sparsely populated area. There's a level 1 evacuation order from Prince Creek north to Cascade Creek. The Lakeshore Trail is closed, by the way, from Prince Creek to Moore Point. Again, this is a very sparsely populated area. Pacific Northwest Team 13 is going to assume command of the fire later on today. They have a general idea of how this fire started. They think it was a structure fire that spread into the wildland, although that is still under investigation. Again, it's about 300 acres. More resources are being assigned. We will have more tonight at 5 o'clock. A suspect in an East Wenatchee shooting incident that left another man wounded in the feet. This person is now in custody. The suspect is 47-year-old David William Holland of Wenatchee. He was booked Thursday night into the Chelan County Jail. East Wenatchee police say Holland was involved in a dispute Wednesday evening in the 1000 block of Dolphay Lane. He allegedly fired a single shot at another man that injured both of the victim's feet. The shooter then fled in a vehicle. Police say they were able to connect the car used in the escape to Holland's home address. He may now face charges in Douglas County Court, including assault and an unlawful possession of a firearm. Former thrift store owner and charity operator Thad Lawson is going to have to pay $1.5 million to 12 women whom he sexually harassed on the job. Lawson is a 58-year-old Kashmir resident who ran a charity called Operation Veterans Assistance and Humanitarian Aid. It oversaw 2 Veterans Warehouse stores, one in Wenatchee and the other in Kennewick. A Chelan County jury on Thursday found Lawson civilly liable for assaulting and harassing a dozen women who worked at or visited his stores. Victims testified that Lawson sexually harassed or physically groped them, and that he and his wife Karen Jean Monroe, who operated the charity with him, retaliated if they made formal complaints. Lawson has previously been convicted of criminally for assault for victimizing a woman who visited his Wenatchee store. All of the $1.5 million that the jury awarded will go to those victims, including $17,000 in back wages owed to Lawson's victimized employees. The latest lawsuit was brought by the Civil Rights Division of the Attorney General's office. A gathering was held outside the Chelan County Courthouse, specifically right outside the Chelan County Sheriff's Office on Friday. They celebrated getting $660,000 in federal funding for Chelan County sheriffs to be equipped with body cameras. Congresswoman Kim Schreier, who aided in securing the money, spoke at the gathering along with Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison about the need for cameras in their department.
I want to talk about a little bit of the mechanics of how this came together. Members of Congress just a few years ago got the opportunity to take just 1% of discretional funding and bring it directly back to important projects in our communities. Because we work with people, with law enforcement, with county commissioners, with mayors, to figure out what projects are most important in any given area. And this is a way for us to not have money go through the states and through a long bureaucracy to get to projects, but to go straight to what matters most in a community. And this is one of those projects that matters so much to law enforcement and so much to the community. For transparency, for accountability, but as I mentioned, also for protecting law enforcement from false accusations, from misunderstandings, and from violence.
Body cameras are more than just pieces of technology. They are instruments of transparency and trust. By providing an objective record of police-civilian interactions, body cameras ensure that everyone is held accountable for their actions, including us in uniform. They offer an unbiased account of events, protecting both civilian and deputies from false accusations, and helping to resolve disputes based on clear, factual evidence. In a world where misinformation can spread rapidly, having a reliable record of interactions is indispensable. We've had recent incidents here within our county with officer-involved shootings up the Chumstick Highway and most recently on Eastmont Highway that I believe would have been resolved much quicker had our deputies been equipped with cameras. Wenatchee PD Chief Crown, East Wenatchee PD Chief Rick Johnson, Douglas County Sheriff Kevin Morris have already set that bar. We're glad to follow within that, come alongside our partners, and show the community that Chelan County Sheriff's Office is also willing to set that standard for ourselves.
The Washington Army National Guard is going to have themselves a little wingding on Saturday, the 22nd of June, and you are invited, of course. They moved into the old Executive Flight Building at Pangborn Memorial Airport. The Guard's air unit is the newest tenant at Pangborn. They began moving their stuff into their hangars at the former Executive Flight Building over the last couple of weeks, including a fleet of Lakota helicopters. They're pretty impressive. National Guard's going to hold a ceremony at 9 a.m. on the 22nd. It'll include a display of some of the aircraft involved in its Pangborn deployment, and about 100 soldiers will conduct drills out of Pangborn on a monthly basis, including the National Guard's 286th Firefighting Detachment, and they are welcomed here. Chelan County Public Works took to Facebook last week. Somebody in the Kashmir area is making off with signs. In fact, 7 loose gravel and motorcycles use extreme caution signs have disappeared in the Kashmir area. The signs were taken from Ranch Road to Camas Creek Road over the last week or so. There's counties obviously asking the public to get a hold of them if you've seen them hanging around or somebody stealing them. Call Chelan County Public Works to file a report on their website if you witness suspicious sign stealing activity. What you do with a loose gravel sign, I don't know. And finally, local nonprofit Wenatchee Pride is inviting everybody to celebrate their annual Wing Ding. They have it every year at Memorial Park. Pride Month, of course, is the month of June. The Wenatchee Pride Festival back at the park later this month. Live entertainment, food trucks, a queer garden, and more. Vendors and will include the Crip House, Birch Mountain Barbecue, Icicle Brewing, and Yonder Cider in the garden, and other booths tabled by small businesses and local nonprofits. Last year, Wenatchee Pride said the festival had about 4,000 attendees. It's 11 a.m. to 9 o'clock in the evening on Saturday, June 22nd. And that is the news at 15 minutes after the hour. If you're interested in what's going on around north central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley, we think you are. That's why we do the news. The news will come your way tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on television. That's our TV times, 5, 6, and 10. If that doesn't work in your busy schedule, we'll have it up and running on the web, on our homepage, ncwlife.com, on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. We have an app. We got X. We got Instagram. We got a song in our heart. And we have viewers we know because you email us. And if there's something out there that you think warrants our attention, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. The Mariners have had a really hard time winning at Kauffman Stadium over the last couple of years, but not yesterday. Sports is 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
My favorite thing about living at Prestige is the activities. I think it's just so good for you to have a group that you can have fun with.
I think if you keep moving and you have a social life, you're going to live longer. And that attitude is fostered by the activity director and the managers. It's a good place, it's a happy place, and it's where I plan to stay forever.
Me too.
Hey folks, this is Blueberry Carrie bringing you a public service announcement. With today's fast pace, sometimes you just need to be reminded to just breathe. Come on out to Blueberry Hills and enjoy the panorama of beautiful blueberry fields and these gorgeous North Cascades mountains. Your food is always cooked fresh to order, and our down-home scratch country recipes are always well worth the wait. Our delicious breakfast dips, pies, and pastries await you and your family. So come on out to Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new midsize Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox are back in action and ready to feel your support. Come see the brightest young stars the game has to offer. Who knows, you could be watching a future pro. Come catch all of the action as the Apple Sox return to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium after a 6-game road trip. Wenatchee takes on the Bellingham Bells June 11th through 13th with all games starting at 6:35 p.m. Wenatchee Apple Sox Baseball, celebrating summer one inning at a time.
18 minutes after the hour, the Seattle Mariners avoided being swept for the first time this season. They scored 3 runs in the 10th inning, and they needed all of them. They escaped with a 6-5 win yesterday afternoon at Kauffman Stadium. Cal Raleigh's 2-run base hit provided the winning runs.
But his cutter, slider, and curveball had been hit. J.P. Crawford, a fly ball to right field, and how about another day in a row for J.P. Crawford, leading off the game with a bang. It's his 12th career leadoff home run, and the first long ball that Reagans has surrendered to a lefty this year. 429, nothing cheap there. Exit velo of 105. Players aren't supposed to hit Reagans' fastball.
Runners at first and third, and now a bunt. Here comes Fermin. Locklear plays it to first, and the Royals tie the game. There was a lot going on right there. Renfroe ran, and then he stopped, and then Isbell put a bunt down. Renfroe ends up at second base, has the potential go-ahead run. Doing the little things, that's right. Whatever it takes to get that run home. No one was expecting the bunt, and he didn't get a base hit out of it. But with less than 2 outs with the runner at third, just doing it the small ball way.
Goes after the first pitch, skies it out to the gap in right center field. Dropping, in for a base hit. Bounces high off the wall. Here comes Haniger being waved home. Locklear at second, and his first major league hit gives the Mariners the lead in the 7th inning. It's a run-scoring double for the rookie. Plenty of friends and family in the house tonight to take it in.
That's how you get your first big league hit, driving in the go-ahead run.
Rojas stings this into right field. Locklear is heading to third and being waved home. Here he comes down the chalk, and he scores standing. It's a pitch hit RBI single for Josh Rojas, and it's a 3-1 Mariners lead.
And a solid base hit coming off the bench. He's right on the barrel to be low of 101.7. Locklear comes around to score.
Has another huge home run in this series.
Just got through saying the fans believe, and I was just on the cusp of saying, and so did the Royals. Look at the 94 fastball down, Melendez. Perfect swing, no trouble. Walk in the park for the Royals.
Hard hit ground ball through the right side for a base hit. Rojas is in to score, and Julio delivers in Kansas City yet again. 4-3 Mariners in the 10th.
Fastball, good fastball at 96 miles an hour. It's a two-seamer. It's a sinker. And he hits through the right side of the infield. That's some exit velo to it, too. 109.8.
Into right field, base hit, Cal Raleigh. Dylan Moore scores. Julio is coming around. He scores standing. Cal Raleigh delivers in the 10th inning. He drives in 2, and the Mariners lengthen the lead. It's 6-3.
Another breaking ball. This time he stays on it. You're on the road. You have to add on to that one run.
Yes, you do. You're right. Because they're going to have the same opportunity that you do.
Yep.
Will Smith has been warming up inside the Royals bullpen. Cal Raleigh, his second hit today, does some damage.
And Renfro launches one to left field. Back goes Moore, and at the wall, it's gone.
Renfro been teeing off on sweepers, and there it comes, a 3-2 sweeper. Wouldn't you know it? This is the pitch that he's been drilling and nailing, and that's a mistake. 82 right there. And Renfro didn't even get it all. It got in on his hands a little bit, but just like that, Royals 1 run away from tying it again.
Ground ball, Bliss has it right there. Easy toss to first, and the Mariners win it in 10 innings. 6-5, the final score.
It wasn't easy, I could tell you that. He knew it wouldn't be with the way this series has gone, but they come back, battle back, end up winning this ballgame. Big base hit by Cal Raleigh to drive in a couple of runs. That was huge in this game. George Kirby pitched really well today. What a pitching matchup we had at the start of this thing, but the guys were able to hang on, and now they go home with a 500 road trip.
Manager Scott Service says it's nice to win in a ballpark, Kauffman Stadium, that the Mariners have struggled at recently.
A ton of credit to our guys. This is a tough place for us to figure out how to win a ball game, and you know, we've had leads here, a lot of leads the last few years, and the Royals just, they're pesky as hell. They're really tough to finish off. But our guys, even when we give up the lead, you know, we come right back at some huge hits there in the 10th inning. And we needed all the extra cushion that Cal provided with the big hit there. But you don't get to that spot unless George Kirby does what he does. 7 strong innings against a really good young left-handed starter. Reagan's is legit. We knew that coming into the game. He's one of the best young lefties in the game. I really like the way George is throwing the ball. And you know, Garv did a good job with him again today. And I think getting all of his pitches in play early in the game really helps. And he established his fastball inside today against some hitters he really needed to, and that helps as you get second and third time through the lineup. So he's throwing the ball well. We needed all 7 innings from him today, and he stood up and gave exactly what we did need. Again, credit to our guys for, you know, you give up the lead like that, the first thing is to feel sorry for yourself. You can't do that. You got to go out and grind and figure out a way to, create another rally, and we did.
Seattle returns home to start a 4-game series with the team that has the worst record in baseball. Bring on the White Sox. Logan Gilbert will face Eric Fetty. First pitch tonight at 6:40. How did the rest of the American League West do yesterday? There's your Mariners score. Rangers knocked off the Giants 7-2. Blue Jays nip the Athletics 6-4, and it was the Angels over the Astros 9-7. It was the Cade Benavidez show yesterday afternoon in Victoria for the Apple Sox. Man, he was good. Benavidez drove in 3 runs and tossed 3 scoreless innings. The Wenatchee Apple Sox defeated Victoria 5-2 at Royal Athletic Park.
0-1 the count to Schneider from Fresno State. Runner at first, stays put. The pitch swung on and belted out toward left field. Long run back for Gianni. Looks like he has it measured up, and he makes a tremendous grab on the left field wall. Gianni snow cones it, and the side is retired. Hit for the Harbor Cats in the bottom of the first inning. What a catch for Antonio Gianni, perhaps robbing Cam Schneider of what would have been a 2-run homer. We head to the second, and fittingly, Gianni will lead things off for the Apple Sox. Stick around for more in a moment on the Apple Sox Radio Network. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's strikeout number 91 in the career of Quincy Vassar, and now he stands alone as second place all-time in Wenatchee history in strikeouts. Now sitting 20 away from moving into first place in franchise history. 1-2 the count. The pitch from Hatch. Swung on and driven out toward right field. A long run back for Ramirez. This one is going to hit the base of the fence. Easily into score, Scheffler. Doherty right behind him. Heading it home from first base and also scoring. It's Max Hartman. And it's 3-1 Apple Sox here in the top of the 6th inning. 4 consecutive batters reach with 2 outs, and 3 of them score. Cade Benavidez, the leading RBI man in the WCL, comes through once again. Ribbies number 10, 11, and 12 to put the Apple Sox in the lead. Gianni pokes the 2-2 out toward left center. A long run over, and Thompson extends but cannot make the catch. Benavidez can race home as Gianni stands up at second, and the Apple Sox tack on another 2-out run. An RBI double for Antonio Gianni plates Cade Benavidez after his bases clearing double, and it's 4-1 Apple Sox here in the top of the 6th. Campbell has stopped tossing in left field and is now watching. So is everyone else. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Benavidez retires the side and strands runners at second and third to get out of the 8th inning. We go to the 9th. It's 4-2 Wenatchee over Victoria. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on and punched to the right side. Misplayed. It looked like a little hesitation from Fields. It trickles into shallow right field. Palaio will score all the way from second, and the Apple Sox get an insurance run here in the 9th inning. Fields hesitated just a little bit as the ball was heading a little bit to his right. It went underneath his diving attempt. Scheffler's going to pick up an RBI single. 3 straight hits for the Apple Sox with 1 out here in the 9th inning. The righties 1 ball, 2 strike offering coming in. That is swung on and missed for strike 3. It's an Ohtani day for Cade Benavidez. He drives in 3 runs at the plate and fires 3 scoreless innings to save this one and give the Apple Sox a 5-2 victory over Victoria. Your 7-2 Wenatchee Apple Sox are coming home after a 4-2 6-game road trip as they will face Bellingham on Tuesday, and we hope to see you there.
Yeah, as Joel mentioned, the Apple Sox are off today. They got the Bellingham Bells coming to town for a 3-game series. First pitch tomorrow at 6:35. By the way, it's $2 off Tuesday. That means tickets and selected concession items are also $2 off. And finally, the West Coast League scoreboard from our friends at Les Schwab. A couple of extra inning games, but Edmonton got by Nanaimo and Ridgefield snuck by Bellingham. Springfield by a single run over Bend. Corvallis crushed Yakima Valley. Walla Walla defeated Portland 4-2. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 29 minutes after the hour, today is National Herbs and Spices Day. Today, I did a little research. I wanted to find out what is the most popular spice in the world, and I put this in my chili. Not a lot of it, but I was surprised to discover it's cumin. Cumin is the most popular spice in the world. The most popular herb in the world is cilantro. Just thought I'd throw that out there. The popularity of herbs and spices depends really on where you live. Obviously in the Mediterranean, you know, oregano is big and garlic is pretty much big everywhere. According to the culinary experts, these are the 12 spices. I can't do 12, I only have 10 fingers. These are the 12 spices that everybody should have in their spice rack or fresh if That is the way you should have it. You should always have these 12 spices on hand: allspice, oregano, ginger, cilantro, fennel, basil, rosemary, thyme, sage, cumin, nutmeg, and cloves. The Big 12. There you go. Happy Herb and Spice Day today. Celebrate with somebody you love. It's the bottom of the hour. Today in history, 3 notable baseball events and one definitely non-baseball event. Put this into perspective. This is how much Babe Ruth fundamentally changed the game of baseball. On this date 103 years ago, June 10th, 1921, there's the box score. The Yankees lost to Cleveland 8-6, but what happened here is Babe Ruth hit a home run. It was career home run number 120 for the Babe. He surpasses Roger Connor to become baseball's all-time home run king with home run number 120. Babe Ruth would go on to break his own record 594 more times. That's mind-boggling, and here it is 101 years later. And think about this. Hank Aaron, of course, when he hit his 715th home run to break Babe's record, he would break Babe's record just 30 more times. The new home run king all time is Barry Bonds, and he only broke Hank Aaron's 7 times. Babe Ruth broke his own record 594 times. Not bad. On an entirely different note, they were a little late getting into the game. I think fascist Italy, I think Benito Mussolini was just waiting to see if Hitler was going to do okay. Well, it's the summer of 1940, and the Nazis are just rolling over Europe. Now into Western Europe, they've gotten the lowlands, they got the Netherlands, they were making noise up in the Baltic states and over there, and they were taking over France, and Italy said, okay, now we're in. Italy, fascist Italy, declares war on France and the United Kingdom, and they invaded France from the south. So now Italy is in. No big surprise there. That was on the state in 1940. Back to baseball. This is the 80th anniversary of Joe Nuxhall. Joe Nuxhall makes his major league debut. This is during World War II. This is 1944. This is 80 years ago. So the major league rosters were decimated. They were off wearing olive green and fighting for the US of A. And so basically it was anything you could do to field a baseball team, which is why Joe Nuxhall made his major league debut for the Cincinnati Reds on this date in 1944. He was 15 years old. He was a sophomore in high school. He was 15. He didn't do very well. He allowed 5 earned runs, was sent down to the minors, didn't pitch again in the majors for 8 more years. He was 15 years old. Remains to this day the youngest person ever to play in a major league game. Again, it was 1944. You did what you could. And one of the great baseball stories of all time, Bill Veeck, on this date in 1952, Bill Veeck, the owner of the St. Louis Browns, fires the manager, Rogers Hornsby. Rogers Hornsby was an incredibly difficult man to get along with. He was a jerk. His players hated him. They said, can we get rid of Hornsby because he's driving everybody nuts? Bill Veeck fired Rogers Hornsby on this date. And later on that day, the rest of the St. Louis Browns presented Bill Veeck, the owner of the team, with a trophy thanking him for firing their hated manager. The players chipped in and bought the owner of the team a trophy as a thank you for firing Rogers Hornsby. It's 33 minutes after the hour. Celebrity birthdays: Chester, Allen, Arthur, Burnett, the Howlin' Wolf. Blues, baby. He took the Delta Blues, brought it to Chicago, electrified it. It's all Smokestack Lightning, Spoonful, Wang Dang Doodle, Killin' Floor. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's an adult portion. Don't play Howlin' Wolf if you got kids around the house. Nothing against the lyrics, but this is big time stuff. The late great Howlin' Wolf, born in the state in 1910. Maurice Sendak, Where the Wild Things Are. Still probably the best children's book ever. No, apologies to Dr. Seuss, but Where the Wild Things Are. Come on. Maurice Sendak was born in the state in 1928. And Kate Upton is 32. I can put her photo up on the screen because the restraining order has been lifted by the judge. Just kidding. Happy 32nd to Kate. Special thanks to our super duper platinum sponsor. That would be Alpine Air. Did your air conditioner give you some problems over the weekend? Give them a call. They'll check it out for you for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. Special thanks to our friends at Pool to Spa Services. We love them down there on Worthen Street. If you have a pool or you have a spa, you know you need to keep chemicals to keep the water nice and clean and safe. They got them at Pool to Spa Services. And special thanks to our friends at Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista. Mike McKnighty's got an opinion, and then, boy, does the Wenatchee Valley have some great young musical talent. Don't take my word for it. From last Friday's commencement exercises, you're going to hear, I hope, and see Eastmont's mariachi program entertain the crowd, plus their choir. And Wenatchee High School graduated with an outstanding saxophone player by the name of Lane Hansen and a great duet with Jessica and Sam. The musical entertainment from commencement exercises. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
For more than 60 years, Crown Furniture and Mattress has been making North Central Washington the most comfortable place to live, one home at a time. We're offering store-wide savings and closeouts. Save on recliners, mattresses, dining, sofa and loves, occasional tables, and bedroom groups. Some items discounted to employee pricing. There's no better time to purchase quality at a great price. Limited to stock on hand. See us today at 736 South Wenatchee Avenue, across from Stan's.
Crown Furniture, where prices really are lower.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
How do you think like an entrepreneur?
I have had it in mind starting my own business. This is all really good to know right now.
I'm currently making a vision board. I am talking about my well-being, my personal finances, and habits that I would like to work on and to improve myself to be a better entrepreneur.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McKnighty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, over the past few years, I've heard increasing criticism of a company we know as Goodwill. Now, this criticism runs like this. Goodwill's paying nothing for the merchandise that they retail. They pay their employees a pittance and make tons of money in a despicable manner. Now, I can't believe this criticism of whoever this guy is. Whoever the guy is who came up with the idea about Goodwill, he came up with a very creative business plan, offers entry-level work experience to folks who might not get a job anywhere else, offers good prices for the stuff you need, and gives you and I the opportunity to get rid of your junk and get a tax write-off. And I kind of think the criticism of this guy is prompted more by jealousy than any justifiable social outrage. And by the way, the people I've spoken to who work for Goodwill, they like their jobs. This is Mike Mad Dog McKnighty, and that's my opinion.
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you.
9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language.
Dankeschön.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today. Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Soy pura mexicana, nacida en Venezuela, en esta hermosa tierra que es mi linda nación. Mi vida suena fuera, la carne la ha dado, con los soldados y yo la quiero dar. ¡Viva México! ¡Viva! ¡Viva América! ¡Viva! El suelo bendito de México, viva América, viva mi sangre por ti daría. Soy pura mexicana, por eso estoy dispuesta. Si México lo quiere, que tenga que pelear. Mi vida suena fresca y cada lado y con soldados y yo la quiero dar. ¡Viva México! ¡Viva! ¡Viva América! ¡Viva! Mi sangre por ti daré. ¡Viva México! ¡Viva! ¡Viva América! ¡Viva! Mi sangre por ti daré yo. ¡Viva México! Soy pura mexicana y no quedé rajado. Si quieren informarse, la historia les diré. Que en México es valiente y nunca es relajado. Igual de ser pegado y si yo la quiero dar. ¡Viva México! ¡Viva! ¡Viva América! ¡Viva! El suelo bendito de Dios. ¡Viva México! ¡Viva! ¡Viva América! ¡Viva! Mi sangre por ti daré yo. Memories forever, these ones will be true. With love, strength, and courage, we will follow you. Follow you. soil, the core to the body, the core to the side, sea, the core to the side, dance, to the side, to the side, sea, to the soul, forces traveling steadily and slowly.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Please join me in welcoming the incredibly talented Lane Hansen performing the classic In a Sentimental Mood by Duke Ellington.
Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile. But then if you're so smart, tell me, why are you still so afraid? Where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You better cool it off before you burn it out. You got so much to do and only so many hours in a day. You know that when the truth is told, you can get what you want or you can just get old. You're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh, when will you realize Vienna waits for you? Slow down, you're doing fine. You can't be everything you wanna be before your time. Although it's so romantic on the borderline tonight. Too bad, but it's the life you lead. You're so ahead of yourself that you forgot what you need. Oh, you can see when you're wrong. You know you can't always see when you're right. You're right. You got your passion, you got your pride. Don't you know that only fools are satisfied? Dream on, but don't imagine they'll all come true. When will you realize Vienna waits for you? Slow down, you crazy child. Take the phone off the hook and disappear for a while. It's alright, you can't afford to lose a day or two. When will you realize Vienna waits for you? And you know when the truth is told, you can get what you want or you can just get old. You're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. Why don't you realize Vienna waits for you? When will you realize Vienna waits for you?
Oh, look at this.
This would look really good in the kitchen.
Or the living room. Just look at it.
New windows are a work of art. Upgrade your home's windows and get cash back from Chelan County PUD.
This is gonna look great in the house.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org. Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
66 degrees. Relative humidity is about 52% right now. Wind out of the northwest at 17 miles an hour. All of those stats, of course, up at Payne-Bohr Memorial Airport, where the official weather station for the Wenatchee Valley is. And after a pretty warm weekend, we were 88 on Saturday and 85 on Sunday. That's about where we're going to be today before we start cooling down, and the wind will be picking up a little bit. From the National Weather Service, one more look at your forecast. 85 today, which is exactly what we hit yesterday. A little windy at times. The winds are about as strong as they're going to be right now at 17 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, 60 for the overnight low. Winds will be pretty consistent, about 10 to 15 miles an hour, again, out of the northwest. Tomorrow, we start getting a little windy. We're going to cool down by about 4 or 5 degrees. It's going to be quite breezy, especially Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night. We're talking about sustained winds, consistent winds at about 20 miles an hour, but gusts at 30 possible Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night, for that matter, as it ushers in a bit of a cold front, which is why we drop all the way down to 76 degrees. Then we bump up to 85 on Thursday, then back down to normal, 77 or so for Friday. And right now, the long-term outlook looks for below normal temperatures and rather breezy for the upcoming weekend, which of course is the last weekend of spring. And that's it for us. Have yourself a great Monday. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Live It Up, the show where we explore and discuss how to take your life to that next level and beyond. We cover health, wealth, relationships, and how to create a life that feels good. Because after all, that's what we want. We want to feel good. I'm your host and coach, Fletcher Ellingson. Today on the show, we're going to be visiting with Stephanie Morgan and Ginny Dalgas of Thrive Chelan Valley. It's an organization whose mission is to serve, empower, and advocate